Creating profit in a post-colonial capitalist economy is looking at ways that our actions impact other people, impacting the community around us, not just ourselves and our immediate business. When we think of communities, it's not just local either. We are a part of a global economy and community. You're listening to Big Questions, Small Sparks. I'm your host, Marisa Lowen. I wanted to really talk about this question. Are we allowed to create profit in businesses that are moving towards this post-colonial capitalist economy or looking to thrive in an anti-capitalist even? And we can talk about what post-colonial capitalism economy and anti-capitalism economy mean to me in a future podcast. But I really wanted to look at this. Do we have permission to actually make money? And in my circle of business owners, we are talking a lot about moving into a post-colonial capitalist economy where we create thriving, resilient businesses. But what we don't do is we don't do it on the backs and at the expense of both people and the environment. Now, this sounds great until we start to break that concept down into what it could look like for businesses, particularly small and medium businesses, and we run into a few challenges. I truly believe our biggest shift in business momentum is going to come from small businesses. They are leading the way in creating innovative and inclusive ways to do business and challenging the big corporations to catch up and compete. Now, I think one of the biggest challenges I hear from business owners, from makers, artists, creatives, therapists, coaches, and even businesses with bigger teams to support, is the hesitancy to step into a post-colonial capitalist economy and continue to make money or make a profit, because we are bombarded with these messages like people over profit and, should we be keeping ourselves poor, giving it all away? And while I agree that one of the most dangerous elements of capitalism is the hoarding of wealth, the truth is the hoarding of wealth is not the same as keeping your business safe. So, can we make money? The answer to me is yes. Please make all the money. But, and it comes with a big but, plan where that money is going. It shouldn't be just in the pocket of the owner or small group of shareholders. I firmly believe in the idea that profit is about investing in, and not only the resiliency and future growth of a business, but the resiliency, safety, and opportunity to thrive for your team, your clients, and the community that you serve. In March 2020, the headline that I saw that outlined the problem with capitalism was Jeff Bezos of Amazon fame asked the public to contribute to a fund for contract employees impacted by the pandemic, and ultimately Jeff's decision on how employees are paid or supported. Now, he is one of the richest men in the world, hoarding immense wealth for the sole purpose of keeping him on those billionaire lists. Why would he not delve into his share and give back to his employees to keep them healthy and safe? Well, because it means he might fall in wealth stature. And Jeff is only looking out for himself, and that's it. We have seen that time and time again. Meanwhile, we all know a small business owner not paying themselves so their employees can keep paying their rent. So where is the difference, and how can we change how you invest in not only yourself, your business, but also your community? Can you create systems of safety for you, your family, your team members, your clients, and the community you live in and serve with the profit structure that you set out for your business? Now, I love talking with business owners about the ability to create security and savings funds for not only themselves, but their employees. As we have seen in the past year, the pandemic really affects the way people are working on teams and working for their companies. And we know that capitalism's response to a downturn in economy is it's the first thing they do is they don't change the means of production or change their distribution channels. No, they look at the most expendable and what is seen as the most unlimited resource, their workforce. They just slash and burn their workforce. And that is not the best way to actually create more profit long term. All that does is it erodes your ability to create a really great experience, not only for your current team, but your customers or clients, and of course, the community that they serve. So we don't want to erode our workforce, right? How do we protect them in times of downturn and also keep the business resilient? And I think this is something we have to focus on. And I don't want to make this overwhelming when you're just trying to get your business up and running and figuring out how to keep a steady stream of customers coming to you. But I think this is important to look at is how do we create these systems for investing? How do you look at the cost of doing business and include safety nets for you, your business, and your employees right from now onward? Right now. How do you create an investment strategy for your business? How do you create a pricing strategy to not only lower overhead costs, but invest in the people who help you achieve success? How do you create the systems for saving and investing so that if there is another economic downturn, which there will be, or your employees can't come into work for whatever reason, you're still able to pay them for a month, 2 months, 3 months, or even 6 months, even when they aren't actually actively contributing to your bottom line? And I know that seems really strange to think about, but it costs so much money to train new employees and to invest and to find good talent. We also make the mindset shift that employees are not an endless renewable resource, but an important part of your business success ecosystem. Think about a really great team member, one that invests in your leadership, your business, and the success that you're working towards. What makes them a really great team member? Well, their ability to feel safe, secure, and encouraged, so they want to share their time, their energy, and their ideas to make your business even better. Remember, you want to retain the team who can give you time where you're not the sole risk taker, time to create, time for research and development, and, this is really important, for just time off. What happens when you or a team member needs to deal with health, family issues, or even creative sabbaticals? Let's plan for the good stuff too, so that involves any kind of time away from the business. And while there are often short-term and long-term leaves you can put in place for your employee benefit plans, knowing that they are able to be paid if you or them needs to take time off in the business provides security. Creating profit in your business means you get to make that possible for you and your team while providing a great experience for your clients and customers. Creating profit in a post-colonial capitalist economy is looking at ways that our actions impact other people, impacting the community around us, not just ourselves and our immediate business. When we think of communities, it's not just local either. We are a part of a global economy and community. Now, this takes a huge shift, especially in North America. We have this ancestral heritage of European settlers coming to this continent and colonizing the land under the propaganda that they were owed this freedom to develop the land, remove the indigenous population through genocide, and exploit the land's resources for their individual gain. A century or so later, we still have this story going on that we are supposed to take care of ourselves first. And that's true. We need to nourish the risk takers, but those risk takers are also fueled by a healthy community and a healthy land around us. We have forgotten what it's like to be in a close-knit community where the actions of one person could put the survival of the entire community at risk. We've forgotten that we can't survive without a community around us. Now we're seeing this call to return to community, to reinvest in the land and be responsible. But the vast machinery of major corporations with their bloated infrastructure creates a slow-to-change model. Consultants and strategists, some of them are my friends, are being hired by big corporations. But even with the best minds working on solutions, they are still massive monoliths moving at a snail's pace. They are looking at their small and medium counterparts and seeing the opportunities zoom by them, as the smaller businesses are more adept to quickly change to meet the demands. Put the plans in place now for your business to pivot and to adapt. Know how to create operating procedures that allow you flexibility to create and meet boundaries in a rapidly changing economic environment. Invest in your community and invest in your people. Create profit for resiliency and for investing in your team. Look at how you can be an active participant in growth around you, not just what directly benefits you individually. And I'll go a step further. Plan for wealth. A wealthy business, a wealthy team, and a wealthy you. Profit-sharing plans, bonuses, shared goals, feedback loops, employee ownership plans, community mutual aid, accessible pricing or access for marginalized groups, accessible work environments, and rich boundaries that keep people safe and secure. We no longer need to create wealth by exploiting employees and the environment. I'm suggesting is that we actually start to look at profit as being the investment in a company's growth. And in order to invest in a company's growth, that means also investing in the employees. That means also investing in the company's resiliency. That means also investing in the community around it, not just focused on the shareholders' return. We can then begin to call on shareholders to reimagine what their returns look like, not just around monetary gain, but also the resiliency of the company, the employees, and the communities it serves and benefits from. But that's a bigger step. Let's begin with business owners and investors of new business. Let's see how we can start to create communities for change. So yes, making money is still a good thing in a post-colonial capitalist economy. Create profit, plan for profit, invest for profit. But let's begin to change the meaning of money and how it is used. The change for good comes with what you do with it and whose lives change because you chose to invest in them too. When we look at the idea of permission to be wealthy, that means we're still investing in maintaining a classist economy where only certain people get to be wealthy. We can create wealth to redistribute. In my mind, we shouldn't create wealth by exploiting other people or the environment, and we shouldn't hoard it for power and control. Permission to create wealth, share wealth, encourage and invest in the wealth of others, particularly currently marginalized people, I don't think we can wait for that. We can't wait for whoever holds that permission now to give it to us. We have to just create the standard for that and then set the example for others currently maintaining capitalism and hold them to the new standard. Now, this is just an idea spark. What can we ignite in our businesses, our communities, and the world around us? I would love to know your thoughts on how we can start doing that or what you have seen working around the world. Post in the comments below or on the Create the Rules Facebook page, or consider booking a time with me on Big Questions Medium Coffee, where we can discuss your ideas live. Thanks for listening. You're listening to Big Questions, Small Spark. I'm your host, Marisa Lowen.